Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take that fire hose of information you share with us, the articles, the research, the internal notes, and we really just distill it down to the essential insights you need to stay ahead. Today, we're putting a huge bookmark on 2025. We're diving into the December edition of the Your Career, Your Future newsletter.
Oh yeah, this one's a big one.
It is. It's from the Career Experts Group, which is a joint venture of master career professionals and personal branding strategists. So this is essentially a massive and I think necessary preview of what's coming next. And our mission today is pretty simple. We are giving you a rapid, but a really thorough analysis of the 5 top career trends that are going to be shaping 2026. Because the world of work, according to these experts, it isn't just changing. It is accelerating.
And that acceleration piece is exactly why this is so critical for you. We're not talking about some abstract ideas you can worry about later. These are active forces that are redefining how professionals have to work, how they need to grow, and really how they stay competitive.
In a landscape that seems to shift every quarter.
Every single quarter. Understanding these trends is, it's the first crucial step.
Okay, so let's lay out the roadmap. We're going to unpack 5 big shifts. We'll start with AI's dual disruption in hiring,
Right.
which flows right into the challenge of bridging the skills gap. Then that mismatch informs this huge cultural shift, the rise of polywork.
The end of the one-job mindset.
Exactly. From there, we'll look at the jobs of the future, driven by what they're calling the 4th Industrial Revolution, and then we'll bring it all back home, back to humanity, with the global mobile workforce.
Okay, let's get into this first one, because I think it defines the modern job search experience for so many people. AI's dual disruption. The source material calls it a battle of the bots, which I think is just a brilliant way to picture what's happening.
It really is. It captures the new arms race perfectly. On one side, on the employer side, you have companies using more and more sophisticated AI.
The applicant tracking systems, the ATS. Exactly, the ATS. They use it for sourcing, for screening, and now increasingly for those early-stage video interviews. They're just trying to process volume.
And on the other side, job seekers are not just sitting there. They're using their own AI tools to, polish up their resumes, hit all the right keywords to get past that ATS screen.
And write their outreach emails, their LinkedIn messages. It creates this fascinating loop, doesn't it?
It does.
If the employer's AI is looking for keywords, and the candidate's AI is writing the resume to give it those keywords, where does the real human talent get noticed?
You risk it just becoming AI talking to AI.
And the person gets lost in the noise. But here's where the sources say it gets really interesting. This tech race is actually making the human connection more valuable, not less.
Okay, how so?
Well, when the bots kind of neutralize each other, when the application and the screen are both perfectly optimized, the candidate who wins is the one who blends both.
So use the AI for efficiency.
For the speed, for the optimization, yeah. But then you show up in the actual interview or the networking call as a real, thoughtful human. The substance, it has to come from you.
So what's the simple, actionable thing that the Career Experts Group suggests for this? How do you win this battle?
I love how specific this is. They say you have to build a small bank of authentic stories.
Not just, I'm a team player.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
These are structured, real examples of impact, of leadership, of problem solving. A lot of people use that CAR framework.
Yeah.
Challenge, action, result.
So instead of saying, I improved efficiency, you tell a story. We were faced with this challenge, so I took this specific action, which led to this measurable result.
Exactly that. You can let an AI polish the grammar, sure. But the real accomplishment, the specific details, the intelligence you showed in the action, that has to be yours. In a bot-optimized world, your human story is the only thing that can't be automated.
That completely flips the script. AI handles the delivery, but the human experience provides the value. Okay, that moves us nicely into trend 2, which really highlights the systemic problems that all this AI is kind of masking. And that is bridging the gap between employers and job seekers' needs. And the data here, it presents this serious paradox. It's actually stunning.
It really is. The source cites an Ashby report showing a 182% increase in applications per hire.
182%.
Yeah, just between 2021 and 2024. Think about that. It takes almost 3 times as many applications now to make one hire.
So there's a flood of people looking for work, and yet all we hear from employers is the opposite problem.
That is the disconnect. The Society for Human Resource Management, SHRM, they find that 70% of employers are struggling to fill roles.
70%.
So it's not a shortage of people. The data proves that. It is a shortage of qualified people for the jobs that exist right now.
So what's the nature of this gap? Is it all just technical skills?
It's twofold, and this is so important for you to get. First, yes, there is a lack of technical hard skills, and that now includes things like AI literacy. But just as important is the gap in crucial soft skills.
Like critical thinking, communication.
Exactly. Problem solving, collaboration, emotional intelligence. The hard skills might get you past the bot, but the soft skills are what get you through the human interview and help you succeed in the actual job.
Okay, so to bridge that gap, the source suggests 3 key things professionals should focus on. What's the first one?
First is about where you look for work. And it's not just the traditional corporate path. They say to actively look into new-collar jobs.
New collar.
Yeah, roles that support all this tech growth like cybersecurity or data analysis, but also, and this is interesting, blue-collar roles in manufacturing or construction.
Because those fields are being transformed by tech, too.
Enormously. They need skilled people who understand that fusion of the digital and the physical. The second point is validation.
Proving you have the skills.
Right. Not with a degree from 10 years ago, but with verifiable credentials, certifications, apprenticeships, micro-credentials, things that prove you have relevant abilities right now.
And the third way to stand out, this brings us back to storytelling again, doesn't it? Moving beyond just the resume.
It's about building a portfolio. A portfolio is crucial because it shows your skills in action. It shifts the conversation from, I know how to do this, to, here is the proof of me doing this, and here was the result. You have to show how you solve the problem.
This whole idea of continuous upskilling and needing a portfolio of skills, it leads perfectly into Trend 3.
It really does.
It's forcing this huge cultural shift in how people even define a career. This is the end of the one-job mindset and the rise of polywork.
Yeah, and polywork, as the newsletter defines it, is intentionally blending multiple roles, multiple skills, multiple income streams, instead of that single straight-line career path.
This is a fundamental change.
It's a huge mindset shift. The expert they cite, Petra Zink, she talks about how for generations the whole idea was stability, right?
The latter.
The latter, exactly, long tenure. But the reality today, with layoffs and constant change, that model is just broken for a lot of people. So they're looking for work that's more adaptable, more purposeful.
So it's not just about a side hustle, it's more of a strategic choice.
It's a portfolio approach to your entire career, like diversifying your investments.
To reduce dependency on one employer.
Exactly. You diversify your strengths, you protect yourself from layoffs in one sector, and you build a career around your life, not just the needs of one company.
And the newsletter also mentioned it addresses the aging population, right? It gives people a way to keep working longer without the grind of a full-time job.
Yeah, it offers a way to phase your work, to stay engaged beyond that traditional retirement age. It really just requires letting go of the old idea that your entire identity has to come from one company logo.
That flexibility you just mentioned, that's the perfect bridge to Trend 4. Get ready for what's next, the jobs of the future.
And the driver here is what's known as the Fourth Industrial Revolution, or 4IR.
Which is more than just digital, right?
Much more. 4IR is about the fusion of digital, physical, and even biological systems. So think of AI merging with things like IoT, the Internet of Things, or augmented reality, VR, biotech.
Okay, so let's make that concrete. What does IoT look like as an actual job in, say, manufacturing?
So IoT is about connecting physical machines and sensors to the cloud. So you get these new hybrid roles like a predictive maintenance analyst or a smart factory system integrator. You need someone who gets both the physical machine and the digital data.
And the source had some great examples in healthcare, too.
Oh, absolutely. It notes that 75% of hospitals now have a formal AI strategy. So you see this huge demand for an AI-assisted surgeon or a clinical data scientist. You have to be bilingual, essentially fluent in both clinical practice and in data science.
The speed of this is what's kind of staggering. The World Economic Forum study they cited says 39% of job-critical skills are going to change by 2030.
39%. I mean, that's almost 4 out of every 10 skills you rely on today. They'll be obsolete or radically different in just a few years. It just hammers home the main point of this whole deep dive, really.
Yeah.
Adaptable talent is the only differentiator. The critical skill is actually the ability to learn.
The ability to continually retrain and upskill faster than the rate of change.
That's the game.
Which brings us to our final trend, and this one shifts the focus away from the tech and back to us, to people. Trend 5. The global mobile workforce. The rise of the whole professional.
Yeah, and the big transformation here isn't just about remote work. It's the rise of a truly global workforce, where collaborating across continents and cultures is just the norm.
So even if your job is local, you're part of a global system.
You are, and that complexity is what's driving this need to address the whole professional.
What do they mean by that, the whole professional?
Well, the source argues that people today are dealing with so much. Financial pressures, mental health challenges from being always on, the emotional toll of all this career change.
Yeah.
So addressing that whole person using a holistic framework, it's no longer a nice to have for employers. It's a strategic necessity if you want to keep top talent.
You can't separate the human from the resume.
You can't. And this brings us right back around to where we started with the battle of the bots. Despite all this tech and all this change, what is the one irreplaceable driver of a career?
The human element.
It's the human element. The source is so clear on this. Careers still move through people. Human connection, emotional intelligence, building trust. Those are the things that get you hired, promoted, and create real mobility.
So the key skills are things like resilience, self-awareness, cultural agility. The opposite of a machine.
The absolute antithesis of a machine.
Okay, before we get to our final thought, I just want to quickly touch on the team pick section of the newsletter. It was a really interesting snapshot of 2025.
It really was. It showed where everyone's immediate energy was focused, and it was all about practical career management.
Yeah, how to nail an interview, how to evaluate benefits beyond just salary, LinkedIn audits.
And of course, deep dives on how to navigate those applicant tracking systems we talked about. It's clear 2025 was the year of actively managing job changes.
But when you zoom out and look at all 5 of these trends together, the core takeaway for you is pretty clear. The future demands 2 things. 1 essential skill, adaptability, and 1 necessary mindset, humanity.
So what does this all mean? I mean, the future of work is flexible, it's multidimensional, it's designed around who you are. And success in 2026 really depends on letting go of that outdated one-job assumption and actively using your human strengths as all this technology just accelerates around you.
It does, and that leaves you with a final and I think provocative thought to consider. If human connection and trust are the irreplaceable drivers of your career, as these experts say they are, how will you audit your own network and your communication strategy in 2026 to make sure that your authentic human self and not just your AI-polished resume is truly the centerpiece of your career story? That's the challenge for the year ahead. We hope this deep dive gives you the strategic advantage you need to end this year strong and start 2026 even stronger. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.